Good morning, America. This is Eddie Marcus again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. My business here today is, as it is every day, is to keep you informed whenever I see evil raises its ugly head, to inform you so that you might be aware, and at the same time, if blessed, to offer an alternative. This is my commitment, especially since I know that you have one of the most evil people in the White House that have ever been there since I have been alive. And so when we hear the politicians talk about the soul of the nation, fighting for the soul of the nation, many people have no idea what that really means, except they might have assumed that the reference is that part of the nation which is the true bottom of the nation, the true good of the nation. And for others, when you think about the true good of a nation that is in violation to the truth, that doesn't really take you any place. Yet and still we have that as a pursuit and they have it as a goal. But most people will tell you in a minute when you start talking about politics, you're talking about politicians. And that politicians will lie. They will compromise. Politicians will do these things for it is essential that it's done in a system that's set up that requires politics, division. It's not just a discussion, it's to dominate. Well, you have a situation where, just to give you an example, the Democrats might say, well, these are some platforms that I have. These are the things that if you elect me president, for example, of the United States, then this is what I would do. I'll make sure that you have health care will be affordable. I'll make sure that so many jobs will come and make sure that we'll do something about the environment, and then having said that, the Republicans will come right along and say, uh, they are lying. They want to take away your protection in your police department. They want to bring and make your homes free to everybody in the world. Now, this is not what the Democrats said, but this is what those who listen to what the Republicans are saying will accept because it sounds good to them. In essence, what you're having is a bunch of lies being told. Now, the truth of the matter is that you have the Republicans who have come along and said that they are going to do something. And I'm sure many of them might be for it, but then they don't really speak. Donald Trump is a voice, so he will say what he is going to do, and everybody knows that his biggest lie was this. They say he's a con artist, a bully, and so it's a trick, as Cohen would say about him, when he walks out there and is playing this magician trick. On the one hand, he says, I'm going to make America great again. Now, that's the demonstration. He hold that hand out there, making America great again. While on the other hand, that you can't see, he's destroying every institution that has been held up as something uniquely qualifying to be a superior nation of America, tearing everything down. And for this kind of a person who's evil, you can imagine the reasons why he might be doing this. And it refers right back to those things that he's hiding from you, things he doesn't want you to know. It's those taxes, who he's been dealing with. The devil deals with everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And so whoever the devil can use, whatever instrument the devil can use, the devil will use well. When Trump came on the scene, he came in with that divisiveness. He walked out on the scene talking about superiority, talking about who is this and who is that, and who came from. What he was doing, ladies and gentlemen, was this. The truth of the matter is, as I've often said, all nations are anti-God. That's why they exist. And every last one of them is fake, but some degree of fakeness deeper than others. Could be because some are coming out of the fakeness, or that some are getting blind going into the fakeness. But that's all sightless. And here we have the Republicans and the Democrats talking to one another, each wanting the same things, and had a situation where they could all have, but they were deceived into believing that some were more entitled to others. Well, anyway, the foundation of American system of government has always been one that has reflected racism and hatred and bigotry, and all of this coming from those who are supposed to be privileged, and they were lied to accept that, cheating, stealing, and killing. All of these things have been done to upgrade this fakeness about greatness, killing, murder, war, slavery, to establish some fakeness about your greatness. And this was all done to deceive those who believed in God, to make them feel that they are determined, that they own everything. Why else do you think they walk around streets with torches and hate signs, talking about other people who won't have any dominance here or won't even have any root here because this is our streets? That's only evil could say that. And why would they say it? Because they gave their lives, they killed and murdered to take it. And see, people actually believe that, privileged people believe that, even in America. People have believed that. That's why you have second-class citizens. That's why you have ghettos. That's why you have presidents that came along and played games that ended up putting a certain population in prisons and making them suffer, making them have welfare, keeping them from voting, gerrymandering, and all these kinds of things. Why do you think that goes on? Because people don't like one another, and that race thing, that divide is coming there, has always been there. And all of a sudden, a man named Donald Trump comes along, recognizes that, and he decides that he's going to come in and take over everything. He knows that people no good, so when he walk in line. People like that. Other folks trying to say, wow, act like they didn't like him, but deep down inside they were loving it. How else do you think all of those guys who were running against Donald Trump talked about him so bad, talked about how he was no good? And when he became the president, they eating his dookie. How do you think they do that? Because that's what they wanted all the time. Now, they say he's given us legislators. He's given us judges where we can, and we don't care who think they run stuff. You know, somebody say, I think they said some dude is connected with this money, Rothschilds or somebody before him. And they decided that, I don't care who make the laws. Just give them the power of money. You know what that means, right? You can think, say whatever you want to say, whatever you want to think, but you can't do a thing the way we got the system set up without this money. And if you want this money, brother, you're going to have to realize who's boss. That's what Trump is saying. You got to realize who's boss. You don't do what I say, I'm not going to give you anything. And the law says you must. But Trump says I'm not, and he gets away with it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what we have going on, when you have that kind of evil going on, it's easy for one to assume that Justice Ginsburg, that from the Supreme Court that expired not too long ago, could have been murder just to get her out of the way. So he could put in someone he had already planned to put in, knowing that he would have the support of the Senate to get that one in, and that one would be able to be used to centralize the power. So regardless of what he's done evil to you, the people of the nation, based upon the system, you have to accept it, like you've accepted everything else he's done. Well, this is the way it is in America today, ladies and gentlemen. But you know, there is something more important than that. That yes, this is a system. And evil in America exists because the people of America have accepted evil as a way of life. And the reason that they've accepted evil as a way of life is because here on earth, or here in America, they have had a very poor representation of God. They have had a very poor representation of love. And the love that was supposedly presented was fake. And let me give an expression of that so you'll understand what I mean. Affirmative action. Let's just say affirmative action was an expression of love from the privileged community to say, we acknowledge that we've hurt our brothers a little bit. So let's We can't give them everything. We can't give them the 40 acres and a mule. We can't give them no big money, but we'll give them something. Let's give them affirmative action. Let's acknowledge that we did a little wrong. And how are we going to pay for it? We're going to go over here and the little benefits that we're going to give them, we're going to go over here and take it from some white people. Now, all of a sudden, you might have black people feeling a little good because they didn't have anything. Now they got a little something. But you got white people mad as hell. We needed that. Why are you taking that from us? Who are they? Why are you going to make us suffer? That's what the white man is saying. And the devil say, "Oh, that's cool, evil, cool." That keeps them divided. They're not coming together. That keeps them in power. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's the way it works. But God says this, and you can always know when God is talking, because God does not love one gender any more than another. God does not love not one shade color any more than another. God does not love not one geographics any more than any other. And God does not love the people in the beginning any different than he loved the people in the end. It's all about real truth and God. God has always been there, and you have been away. God's hand is always there, and you can come back at any time. All you have to do is reach out and grab the hand that's reaching to you. Now, the truth of the matter is, if you've walked just a little bit away from God and you turn back, you might be able to touch his hand without a struggle of that much. But if you've walked away from God forever and God's hand is reaching, and you try to reach back to God's hand, baby, you can go through some hell trying to get back up there, because evil is going to try to do everything he can to keep you down. And you're going to have to have a made-up mind to travel through that toilet. But if you got the made-up mind, it'll be the easiest thing in the world that you've ever done. Now, I'm going to leave it there. The choice today is Trump, the known liar. Every American knows it. Even if they're being supported, they know Donald Trump is a liar. But they accept it because they are so far from God till they put their trust in Trump. That's the only thing they got is Trump. Mean, evil people, for one reason or another. Now, these mean, evil people, they didn't make themselves, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm saying something. I know you might start feeling in your heart, yeah, they mean and evil. Don't you start getting that attitude. These people are mean and evil because they were created. Who were they created by? All of the people that were living at that time. All of the people who were living at that time, regardless of color, shade, everybody that participated in that system that allowed the stuff, whatever these people who are mean and hateful and dirty were going through, they allowed it to happen. Now, why did they allow it to happen? Because they were as ignorant as you are today. And so this is all a result of staying away from God. But in spite of all of that, the truth still remains that God's hand is out there, but it's about love. And when you start loving, when you look at population where you got 12% black, you love that 12% black just like they were your own. Or whether you got 8 billion people across the land, all kind of religions. A lover is never killing. A lover is never killing. Whenever you see somebody out there killing, that's the hand of Satan. I don't care if you're in religion. I don't care if you're in government. I don't care if you're in war. I don't care if you're in politics. I don't care what the heck you're in. If you're killing, you are in hell, and you are the hand of Satan. God gives life. And if God wants life, God knows how to take life without your hands in it. God knows how to take life without your hands in it. And every man that lifts up his hand to take a life is working at the power of Satan himself. You hear me? All of you killers out there, every last one of you. Now you say, well, we got to protect. No, you don't have to protect. You can fix that situation that requires you to do the things that you do. But you don't want to fix it. You just want to be a killer. Let me go. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me. This has been a wonderful moment in time. Goodbye.